And because this simple, silly act of reading comics books was so deep into his soul, deep into his mind, and deep into his body, what happened was he became a hero, at least for now. That's when you become a leader. That's when you become a person who transforms the world. And when that happens, you and your business is going to be incredibly successful. Why 5 levels of learning is important in business? In business, people who are extremely successful are those who are religious learners, those who learn about marketing, those who learn about sales, those who learn about taking their business to the next level. I'll give you a classic example. Warren Buffett. He spends 80% of his time reading. This is one of the richest men in the world. Bill Gates, he spends a lot of time reading. So in other words, if you want to be successful in business, find time to educate yourself, learn yourself. And if you know how to learn on level 5, it's transformational. It's completely different, right? So that's what I'm going to talk about. But if you don't know this information, then what could happen is you're like trying to run a business as if you're trying to draw tail on a donkey with blinds on. You don't want your business to be like that. You want to have a vision and clarity on where you are going. But if you know this information, then you have the opportunity to scale your business. You have the opportunity to double your business, your revenue, profit, and income in the next 12 months. So let's get in. What am I talking about here? So I'm talking about 5 different levels of learning, right? So level 1 learning is that you don't know what you don't know. That's level 1 learning. Imagine like you are 2.5 years old, 3 years old. You're like, I don't know how to drive. But I don't know that I don't know how to drive. In other words, a 3-year-old has no clue that she doesn't know how to drive. And she doesn't know how to drive either. So that's unconscious incompetence. I don't know what I don't know. Yeah? The next level is you're like 8, 9 years old, 7, 8, 9 years old. You're like, mommy knows how to drive a car. Daddy knows how to ride a bike. I don't know how to drive a bike. I don't know how to drive a car. How to ride a bike or drive a car, whatever. Drive whatever you can pick. That's the point you become aware that you don't know how to bike, but now you know that you don't know. So that's conscious incompetence. You're conscious that you don't know, and you have incompetence, as in you don't know this particular skill, right? So you know what you don't know. That's at 2nd level, which is okay level. The 3rd level is you know you're 16 years old. You know that you don't know how to drive, and then your dad is like, okay, hold the steering wheel, and you might be holding the steering wheel if you're in a different country than the US. But if it's the US, you're 15 and a half, and you're going to this driving school, and you're like, okay, this is a complex activity, and I need to hold the steering wheel. And some countries, if you're from a different country, you might have shift gear, right? So I need to shift the gear at the same time too. And when I shift the gear, I need to press on clutch. Oh my gosh, this is too much, right? So you're trying to hold it and trying to do that clutch, press the clutch, and then move the gear, and then look at all the people, and then there is this crossing, and then there is a signal, and then there is a speed limit, and everything in between, right? So this is a very confusing activity for most people. That is conscious competence. So in business, how does that translate? It translates to what's your level in marketing? Are you unconsciously incompetent, or consciously incompetent, or consciously competent? All of them, none of them will work for you enough to grow your business to the next level. In sales, in innovating, in managing your team members, in growing your business, in scaling your business, in getting new leads, in converting them into customers, in giving people a world-class experience, your customers a world-class experience. If you are at like level 1, level 2, or level 3, there is no business. You just do some stuff and leave it along, and then that's it. Now the next level is 4th level, which is unconscious competence. You don't know what you know. That's the level you're kind of touching the genius a little bit. You're about to touch the genius, but I'll tell you about the genius in level 5, which is where you are like today you are driving around and like you didn't pay attention. Even if you have a gear, you're like, okay, you're listening to music, and then you might have a headphone and you're listening to, you're talking to somebody, and then there is a person behind, they're saying hi to the person, and like, oh my gosh, you're an expert now. Like, it's like, there's no thinking needed anymore. You're naturally doing the stuff. Like you are like everything, okay, it's signal, it's automatically signal, it's automatic. Like, it's automatic for you. This is unconscious competence. That's level 4. We need to strive for at least that level, right? Because if you don't know marketing in that level, if you don't know sales at that level, if you don't know how to innovate your business in that level, if you don't know how to scale your business in that level, some uncertainty show up in your doorstep, economic doorstep or country's doorstep, you're screwed. You don't want that. That's why you want to learn how to do these things in business. And you want to learn at least on level 4. But if you want to be legendary, if you want to be a future millionaire, if you want to be a future billionaire, listen to the next thing that I'm going to say, which is level 5 learning. What is level 5 learning? Level 5 learning is a learning where your body, your mind, and your soul are aligned. And then in that level, you're learning in a soul level. You are understanding things in a completely different things. Normal things have like color. Normal cake have icing right now. Like when you start to see the world that way, everything changes. Let me give you an example. Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs, when he was young and in his teenage, he was walking by and he went to a corner house next to his house, wherever he was staying. And he went to this person's house and he saw like this, there was a container filled with rocks of different shapes and different sizes, right? So these rocks were like mixing with each other and like there's sound, there's this weird sound and stuff like that. And these rocks were rotating. And he's like, what the heck are you doing here? And the owner of the house said, you know what? Just go home and come back tomorrow morning. He came back. He was very curious. He was a teenager, obviously, and he's very young. And he's like, of course, he was a very curious guy. And then he came back, and he looked at him like he doesn't see any sharp rocks anymore. He sees only like really like polished and beautiful and round rocks that are beautiful, that could be used for gardening and all kind of stuff. But it's so beautiful right now. He said, what happened? What happened? What's going on here? And the guy said, for the whole night, these rocks were scratching each other, right? And other rocks, and all these rocks were scratching each other. And then, because of this movement, the sharp edges of these rocks went away, and it became circles, and it became a round rock. And he's like, huh? Different sizes, different shapes, different sharp edges. It all became the same. Yeah. And he used that principle to build Apple. What does that mean? It means when most companies had only engineers, he had philosophers in his team. He has scientists in his team. He has testing team in the team, right? So he had a bunch of different types of rocks with different shapes and different sharp edges, all merged together, came up with this beautiful products from Apple. This metaphor deeply understood. And you're like, what the heck? It's just like some rocks and getting into shape. What's the big deal about it? But for this curious kid, it went into his deep level soul. So it touched his soul, it touched his mind, it touched his body. And from that, he created this company called Apple. This is not the only reason he was successful, but this is one of the reasons that he said Apple was successful, because he was able to build a homogeneous team from a heterogeneous culture of people. Does that make sense? I'll give you one more example. Since we are going with the innovative people, let's go with Elon Musk. Elon Musk, when he was a kid, he used to read comic books with heroes. Right? So he would read like Superman and other stuff. I don't know, whatever specific comic books he read, but think about it like a Superman or Spider-Man, like, something happens to the world, a hero goes and saves the world. And he kept on reading it and he loved it. And because this simple, silly act of reading comics books was so deep into his soul, deep into his mind and deep into his body, what happened was he became a hero, at least for now. So now when humanity has a crisis, what is going to happen to this planet? Probably 80 years from now. He said, let's bring people to Mars. Let's start thinking about it right now. Because it's that hero in him. That hero that he saw in him when he was reading this amazing heroic stories in these comics that shaped him to be who he is. Other than 70,000 other things. But this is one really critical, important thing that shapes humans. This is where you become a genius. This is where people will start to see you like, oh my goodness, that's incredible. This person has done an amazing thing to the world. That's when you become a miracle. Like you become a miracle. People look at you and they're like, oh my gosh, he knows what he's doing. She knows what she's doing. Right? So that happens when you're allowing yourself to free from the mind, free from the conditioning of the mind, and free from the conditioning of your body, and allow your soul to come out and learn. Like the flying car, like the car, the Tesla car that I was talking about. You just need to press a button and then all of a sudden imagine this car can fly and then it will reach wherever it is and land in a carport and then will take you to the next destination. Let's call it spontaneous right action. That's when you do the right thing at the right time for right reasons. That's when humanity transforms in front of you. That's when you become a leader. That's when you become a person who transforms the world. And when that happens, you and your business is going to be incredibly successful. Whatever you came to do, your business will become that tool that will help you get there. You will be able to inspire your team and your customers. You'll be able to inspire your family. You'll be able to inspire your friends to up-level themselves to greatness. And you'll start to see greatness in everybody. And then everybody will start to see greatness in you. And that's when your business is going to double. Your revenue is going to double. Your profit is going to double. Your productivity is going to double. Why? Because you are in level 5 learner. So that's my message for today. In summary, there are 5 levels of learning. One is you don't know what you don't know. Second is you know what you don't know. Third is you know what you know. Fourth is you don't know what you know. And fifth is soul level learning, 5th level learning. That's my invitation for you this week, right? And we have, if you are curious to learn more about these things that I teach, there is a free training that I'm doing for anybody who's a business person. There must be a link somewhere on the bottom. Just go ahead or ask that, put that in the comment. My team will send you that link if you don't see the link, and then use that link to sign up and get that free training that I do, where I teach concepts like this so that you could take your business to the next level. And my intention for you for this, if you're listening from whatever country you're listening, I live in the US, but any countries that you're listening from, my goal is to help you grow your business to the next level. My goal is to see you as that business icon who can transform the world. And I believe in you, I see you. Because you're listening to this video until now, I believe in you, right? So I want you to believe in yourself. Go ahead and get this training for free and then attend that. Get to know this concept and transform the world. Create something extraordinary in the world. Become the next Elon Musk. Become the next Steve Jobs in your life. In your relationship, in your friendship, in your business. That's my invitation for you. So I'm so inspired that you listen to me. I'm so inspired by your vision. So share your vision, share your ideas wherever you are from. I would love to connect with you. I would love to see you in one of our live seminars somewhere in a different country, wherever I'm doing events right after this COVID challenge is over. And then I'll see you sometime very soon. Until then, implement with intelligence and power. Create the impact and the profit that you deserve without settling, and accelerate your business starting today. I'm Ruble Chandy signing off.